going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking. On today's episode, we are going to be making California burritos. I woke up this morning and I decided, you know what? I feel like eating a burrito, so that's what we're making today. I'm gonna make a Cali burrito. I know you guys have heard of it. If you haven't, stick with me. Watch how I do it because it's unlike anybody else's you've ever seen. Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's start out by cutting up all the veggies that we're gonna need for this recipe. I got a red onion here. I'm gonna go ahead and dice this up. I've got some yellow onion here that I'm also gonna give a rough chop. Next, I'm gonna slice up a green bell pepper. I've got about 4 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna use 3 for my salsa. For the last one, I'm gonna roughly chop it up and use that one inside of my beans. Chop up a little bit of cilantro right here. And I'm gonna slice 1 lime into wedges. All right, here I've got 2 ripe avocados. I'm gonna open these up, get this big seed out. Then I'm gonna scoop the avocado out of its skin, get that into my bowl, ready to mash up. I've got half a Roma tomato here. I'm gonna dice this up. I'm gonna use this for my guac. 1 Serrano Chili. I'm gonna cut this in half and give this a little dice. Last but not least, I'm gonna slice up some potatoes for my French fries. I'm gonna slice my potatoes lengthwise, as evenly and as uniform as possible. I wanna make sure I'm doing this so that they cook evenly when I put them inside of my air fryer. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those in half. And now that I got these French fries sliced to the length that I want, I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna soak these in a fully submerged bath of water for 1 hour. All right, now that we have all of our veggies cut up for this recipe, let's go ahead and start in on this salsa. In a medium-sized pot, I'm gonna bring some water to a boil. Into that boiling water, I'm gonna add 6 Roma tomatoes, 2 Serrano chilies that I've cut open, and 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna boil these tomatoes, Serrano chilies, and garlic until I see the skin on these tomatoes start to split. Once my tomatoes have split, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop all of those out of my boiling water into my blender, including the 2 Serrano chilies and the 3 garlic cloves. Next, into my blender, I'm gonna go in with half a cup of these red onions that we chopped up from earlier, half a cup of the green bell peppers, and half a cup of cilantro. Now that I got all of that inside of my blender, I'm gonna go ahead and blitz this a few times. Just pulsing. I'm not trying to blend it too much. I want it to be slightly chunky. I don't want it to be super fine like sauce. I want it to still be able to bite into some of those bits of onions and cilantro and all that good stuff that we put inside there. Now that I've pulsed this salsa a little bit, I'm gonna open up the top, get a big pinch of salt, get that inside of there. I'm gonna pulse it just a little bit more to get the sauce incorporated inside. Let's check this salsa to see if it's right. The only way to check it is with a chip. That's a damn good salsa. I'm gonna transfer this salsa into a glass jar, and you can keep this in your fridge for up to a week, but around these parts, it's not gonna last that long. Salsa's done. Let's go ahead and make this guacamole. Got everything I need here for my guacamole. I got my tomatoes, my cilantro, red onions, salt, and of course the avocados. Next, we're gonna smash up these avocados. Just gonna do a rough breakdown. I'm not gonna do it too much. I just wanna break them down a little bit so it's not too hard when I start doing it by hand. Into this guacamole, I'm gonna dump a 1/4 cup of red onions, a 1/4 cup of cilantro, and 1/4 cup of these diced Roma tomatoes. Big pinch of salt inside. And I'm gonna squeeze in the juice of 1/4 wedge of lime. Now I'm gonna grab a fork and just kind of mix and fold that in. Then once it starts to break down some, I'm gonna start mashing it with that fork a little bit more. Then starting to whip it all together. Hey y'all, once again, you always gotta test it to make sure it's seasoned properly. Only way to test it is with the chip. Now that I got my guac ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with some plastic wrap, making it airtight, forcing out as much air as possible. That way my guacamole does not start to brown. I'm gonna set this covered guacamole into my fridge to chill. Next, we're gonna hook up a little pot of pinto beans. To a small pot, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter. In that 1 tablespoon of butter, I'm gonna saute about 1/4 cup of yellow onions and that diced up Serrano Chili from earlier. And I'm gonna throw in that roughly chopped clove of garlic that I chopped up earlier. I'm gonna saute those up. Once they start to get a little bit of color on them, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my pinto beans into my pot. Off camera, I didn't show it, but I did add 1 tablespoon of cumin to this as well. Once I brought that up to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and stir it around, lower my temperature, put a lid on it, and let it simmer. I'm gonna let those beans simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes, coming back occasionally to stir it. And for the co-star on this Cali Burrito, let's go ahead and slap some Carne Asada on the grill. All right, back out on my grill, King of the Hill style. I got my propane grill turned all the way up to high. It's been preheated. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this Carne Asada on. Here I have 1 pound of Carne Asada. Now that I got my meat on the grill, I'm gonna close it up, but I'm not going anywhere, you guys. I'm gonna be tending to my flame. I'm gonna lower the heat and adjust it as I need to. I'm gonna be checking it to make sure that it's not burning on the inside, but I do want to keep my lid closed to make sure that I am getting that fat that drips down into the grill and then pops that flames up to kiss the meat. That's what's gonna give us that nice char that we're looking for and that color we're looking for on each side. Don't be afraid to move your meat around the grill, you guys. Move it to the hot spots, move it to the spots where that flame is gonna kiss it, get it where it needs to be. If you don't need it in that area, move it to a cooler spot. You play around with it, it's your grill. Now I got the Carne Asada just like I want it. Crispy edges, tender on the center, flame kiss, good grill marks. Let's go. I'm gonna get this Carne Asada off the grill, onto a pan, take it inside so it can rest. Back to the fries. Now that we've let our fries soak in this water, a lot of the starch has come out of the fries and into that water. We want to drain that off. That way it'll lead to a crispier French fry. This is one of the methods we're going to use. Method number 2 is taking those pre-soaked French fries and drying them off in a towel. We're going to get as much of that water, that excess water off. It's all around those fries. We're gonna dry that all up. We don't want any of that. We want it to be as dry as possible. Method number 3, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and I'm gonna sprinkle that on top of these fries. Once I do that, I'm gonna mix them all around, making sure they're well coated. I'm gonna take my air fryer basket. I'm gonna give that a spray down with this non-stick cooking spray. Now I'm gonna set my air fryer to about 400 degrees, throw these fries in for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm gonna take them out, flip them over, put them back in for an additional 10 minutes, or until golden brown. And they should come out looking a little something like this. Now that I got my Carne Asada off the grill and it's rested, I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping it up. I'm gonna make sure that I chop this Carne Asada against the grain. I'm gonna slice this Carne Asada into strips. After I slice it into strips, I'm gonna give it a rough chop. I'm gonna chop this Carne Asada down into some fairly big pieces because, to be honest, you guys, when I bite into my Cali Burrito, I wanna bite into a whole bunch of steak. But if you want yours cut smaller, go ahead. If you want your pieces to be diced up, go ahead and do that. At the end of the day, you do what you want to do. Now we're going to get ready to start building this burrito. Now that we have all of the components finished, we're going to take our extra large tortilla. I'm going to toast that on an open fire on my stove right here. Hey, make sure you guys are warming that tortilla before you start rolling this burrito. Get it on that fire, get it warmed up, get it ready to go. Once my tortilla is ready, I'm going to throw it down on my cutting board and start building this Cali Burrito. First, I'm gonna start with my Carne Asada. Man, get some more on there. Next, I'm going in with some rice. Hey, if you guys want the recipe for this one, check out my last video I just did. I did a full video, full recipe in the description for how to make this Mexican rice that I'm putting inside of this burrito. So go check out that video. Matter of fact, while you're checking out that one, check out all my other videos. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, smash that like button. All right, after that, I'm gonna add a scoop full of these pinto beans with the Serrano chilies and the onions inside. Next, let's go in with some of this fresh guacamole we made from earlier. Go ahead and get some of this good guacamole on there. It looks B-E-A beautiful. Let's get a good, generous helping of this homemade salsa that we made with the spicy Serrano chilies in it. Woo! Let's throw on a big handful of those fries. Slap those fries on top. Y'all already know I'm gonna put some more of those fries on. Sprinkle some of this delicious cojita cheese on top. Go ahead and finish this Cali Burrito off with a little bit of lime. Got another lime wedge here. I'm gonna squeeze that on top. Now let's try to roll up this behemoth of a burrito. I'm gonna get everything in the middle. Try to scoot it back a little bit. Fold my two sides in. Take it, fold it over. Oh, get those little bits in. Tuck them in, tuck them in. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Ah, there you go. And bam, there you have it. Cali burritos rolled. Next up, we're gonna get this burrito in a pan so we can toast it. Now I got my pan hot. I'm gonna lay my burrito down, fold side down first so I can lock that in so it doesn't unravel on me at any point. Once I've got that toasted to a nice golden brown, I'm gonna flip it over and do the same to the other side. Now that I got my Cali burrito golden brown on both sides, I'm gonna put this down on my cutting board, cut it in half. Don't you dare cut your burrito on a dais. And show you guys a cross section. Look at that, y'all. You can see the fries up in there, that delicious steak, the guacamole, that fresh salsa. Let's go ahead and top this with a little bit more of that cojita cheese and some fresh chopped cilantro. And there you go. Cali burrito, you guys. This thing turned out super fire. You already know. I don't lead you guys astray with anything. Everything I make in this kitchen is gonna be fire. Hey, and for those of y'all that have been asking, recipes in the description. Click the description below if you want to know exactly how I made this recipe. Boom, there you have it, you guys. California burritos brought to you guys with a little bit of a twist. I like to call them the Coop Cali burritos. Let me know how you guys like this. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, help us get the name out there and help us grow this channel. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking.